At the climax of World War II, Russian forces took the German stronghold of Käfig, translated to cage. Upon entering the bowels of the fortress, Russian forces immediately lost contact with command. This is attributed to the advanced use of lead and other metals and alloys to block radio waves. Hours later, an infantryman, later identified as Anton, was found. For the safety of his family, his surname will not be exposed. Anton, part of a small group of 5 entering the fortress, was heavily injured. He was later identified as having rough knife and/or bayonet cuts and dog bites. Fearing enemies were still in the fortress, groups were called back from the fort. Only 3 men from one group of 5 out of 5 groups total returned. They seemed to be in the early stages of an unknown flu-like disease and were put into a nearby abandoned residence. They were locked in the basement, simply to stop the disease spreading and allow them to pass from it. 2 weeks passed. Groups of 7 soldiers soon led a charge into the fortress. Upon entering, they too lost contact with their command. Upon entering, soldiers found skeletons and corpses of allies. Each one had severe lacerations across their neck and chest. Bones reportedly had been worn down, as though being chewed. The following are journal entries from an unarmed soldier. Due to the lack of weapons and ammo, many soldiers were left without weapons. The following has been translated to English and to modern versions of English. Times are illegible, and entries that are legible will be tracked using numbers. 1. When we entered the base, we were met with horrors of bodies and entrails. Many men picked up the arms and blades of the fallen, soaked with blood and muddy water. 2. Minutes into our trek, we heard a sound that stopped us in our stitched-together boots. The sound was like a bear rushing through the dense woodland, but there couldn't have been any living animal down here. At this deep, it was difficult to breathe. I could barely see anything except for the small gas lights in the hands of frightened men. 3. We found the source of the noise. Inside a cage, the walls were made of some clear material, similar to the lens of a scope or the glass outside of a lantern, but stronger. The most horrifying was the thing inside the cage. It looked like a man, feet to shoulders, average height and weight. On his wrist, you could see numbers. From his neck upward was a horribly stitched wolf's head, as though this man's head was cut and replaced. It stood on its hands and feet. Its spine was contorted to fit its position. Truly horrible. 4. We found more, all encased in this strange material. We've sent a soldier up and told him to chuck a rock down the large staircase. If he has gotten intel officers to come. 10 minutes later, a cracked lantern clanked down the stairs. We're unsure what to do. From what's been translated, it appeared the Germans were attempting to create some sort of man-animal hybrids. We found horrific masses of multiple animals. 5. We found something. A man pulled his weapon at something in the darkness. He fired, the bullet ricocheting off a previously unseen broken cage. The bullet ricocheted off and struck an infantryman in the leg. We could do nothing but bandage him and continue onwards. We'd been there half the day, and the darkness wasn't improving morale. The journal was recovered from the rubble of the fortress after American forces bombed it mercilessly. Russian forces have no record of a soldier returning from the group for intel officers.